Why being an only child is a great thing. For decades, being an only child has been burdened with a host of assumptions, many of them negative. In popular culture and public opinion, only children were often stereotyped as lonely, spoiled, or socially awkward. They were seen as missing out on essential experiences that supposedly only siblings could provide. Learning to share, resolving conflicts, or developing emotional resilience through sibling rivalry. These views became so widespread that even parents of only children often carried guilt or concern, wondering if their child might grow up lacking something essential. But today, it's time to rethink that narrative. We are living in a new era, shaped by different values, family structures, and scientific insights. Not only is being an only child increasingly common, but growing research shows that this experience can offer powerful developmental advantages, if not outright strengths. A changing family landscape. In the mid-20th century, large families were the norm. The post-war generation, for instance, grew up in households where having 3 or more siblings was common. This was influenced by a mix of cultural expectations, economic models based on single incomes, and limited access to birth control. However, beginning in the 1960s, that paradigm began to shift. The introduction of the contraceptive pill, increased access to higher education for women, and growing gender equality gave women more control over their reproductive choices. Additionally, advances in reproductive technology, such as IVF, made it possible to plan families more precisely. These developments resulted in a steady decline in birth rates across many developed nations. Dispelling the myths, despite the growing prevalence of one-child families, many outdated stereotypes persist. Critics often claim that only children are more likely to be self-centered, emotionally immature, or socially inept. These claims can be traced back to early psychological studies that lacked scientific rigor. One of the most influential yet flawed examples is the work of E.W. Bohannon, a 19th-century American psychologist who gathered anecdotal reports from adults about the peculiarities of only children they knew. Lacking a control group and relying on biased recollections, Bohannon's study concluded that only children were spoiled and selfish. His findings gained traction in part due to his association with G. Stanley Hall, a prominent psychologist who infamously described being an only child as a disease in itself.